how important all these different elements play. How sort of far do you think Ireland has come to fully sort of recognising and utilising all these different aspects? Say we've got radio, we have a record label and distribution network and all created locally. How far does Ireland have come, say, since you guys first got involved in that scene?
I don't know, in some ways it's improved manifold, but in a lot of ways I don't think it has. I think it's very, sorry. Well, I think the fact that Ray has a show on Quantum is great. I mean, 20 years ago we had a metal show, that was like really the first of its kind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's great. The fact that there was, although I guess it's, as we all heard previously, temporary, the fact that we've had a little periods because of the figurehead over here where the local press was actually taking an active interest in what we're all doing.
Yeah.
You know, we all know that we didn't get that place, but still would have otherwise. In terms of the quality of music and how things have always gotten better, but in a lot of ways, I mean, it hasn't moved on. It's still very hard. As we came on the first one, Ireland's still a very limited place if you're a touring band. There's still only a handful of places you can really play. The audiences just aren't there. You know, it's not getting more popular.
Which is in direct contrast to some of the European countries, you know. Like say Finland and Norway have similar size populations, and metal is just another part of life there. Do you know what I mean? Like it's still very much an outsider thing in Ireland, in the sense that like if you're a teenager, and there's one guy I know, Dale, like all his mates are like, I don't know, my cousin incidentally, but they're all like just normal guys and normal things, whatever. He's into death metal, demos, all that sort of stuff. He goes to gigs on his own. He socialises with all his friends who aren't into that sort of thing, and like there's just not the room for teenagers to actually get into this sort of thing and just run with it, because of, I think, Ireland is such, like particularly with the whole fucking Celtic Tiger thing, we're a really facetiously vain kind of nation. We like to be hip and cool and appear to be that way, dressing a certain way, listening to a certain style of music, and going to all these fucking whatever generic bars and clubs. Like, kind of going back to what I said in the last thing, when I was a kid there was punks, metals and goths in the small town I came from. We were more open-minded in some ways 20 years ago than we are now. The conservatism that's inherently a part of the Irish psyche has really, really kind of created sheeple, you know? They like fucking, there's a huge uniformity, and anybody who's outside that is really on the periphery, you know? And it's very, very difficult to try and be on the periphery and have something that is, I mean, Metallica can play to whatever, 20,000 people, Guns N' Roses can play to whatever, but they're like, people going to those gigs aren't like kind of metal fans or whatever, you know, so they like the band, but they're not going to be in the Point on a weekend, they're not going to be in Whelan's or, you know, whatever, for whatever gig. And it's because of the way Irish society is. Like, you're only supposed to be into this until you're in your 20s, and you have to grow.
Well, this is something I hear about a lot, is there's almost two schools of thought on this, and it's that there's something inherently in the culture, as you guys say, that prevents people from getting into metal.
Yeah.
On the other hand, maybe with the other guys, would you think that maybe that there is an inherent conservatism within metal in Ireland that is not open to other people joining? You know? Like, you know, there's always like, if you go on the sort of, you know, forums and whatever, and hear people slobbering away about these sort of the part-timers, as they call it. Like, is there not enough done to make them feel welcome, and not enough done to sort of try and attract their attention a bit more, you know? Maybe because Ray, you were saying because you would sort of deal with the radio, which those kind of people would listen to a bit more, as
like you know, through Dublin metal bands, you know, they're giving out prizes for shows, on my show. And, you know, you might meet a couple of the winners, you know, at the show, and generally speaking, they don't, you know, they're not your average, you know, metal fan. They're more of, you know, they wouldn't necessarily go to the gigs. So I suppose what I'm hoping that Phantom does is that it's a bit of a window for people to come in, listen. Okay, I'm going to be playing the Metallicas and all that that people requested every week. But I do try and play all the underground stuff, you know, kind of connected with all the labels. So I do try and get as much as that, and obviously encourage every Irish band to submit demos. Like I do have an Irish special once a year, but every week I try and play an Irish track or two.
Do you think that Irish radio and maybe Irish magazines and Irish media should be obligated to play Irish material?
I don't think it should be obligated. There should be a change in attitude. Like Irish radio stations who want to play Irish bands, not to play them where they have to. So
But surely that's saying to the bands as well, though. I mean, you don't just play something you can tell it's Irish. If it's
I
like
think
horse shit.
Irish radio stations should be, absolutely, because in every country, Germany, Sweden, all those countries, they have to play their country bands. So we might have...
It has to be a standard, though, you know.
What, like Westlife? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, the metal singer has to be a standard.
Yeah. No, but you can't just sort of play any old fucking crap just because it's Irish, you know. That's not... Well,
I mean, radio stations do play any crap.
I was just saying, I'm just on radio, like, I just know Phantom's contract, and we received the contract to go legal. We have to pay a minimum of 20% Irish, and pay 10% news and 10% like, there's all of these rules when you get a license. So, sure, every radio station will have the same rule, similar rules anyway.
Rachel, when is that your overall content for showing?
Do you think that getting 20% is fair?
Well, I think the guy made a fair point. Like, I get quite a lot of stuff in, and I play most of it. I don't play all of it. Something's really terrible, you know, I won't play it, you know. But I generally, I will say, I play probably 95% of it. It's halfway decent, and I have to say, nearly all of it is really good. And that's one thing I'll just kind of give you a point a little bit. I'd say from 97 when I started to now, the quality, because it's much cheaper to record, and the quality is so much better. Absolutely brilliant. Some of the stuff that's coming out compared to what I was getting, you know, with bedroom kind of stuff back in the day. Like and that's a real improvement, you know. So I'd say that's a positive thing.
So again, getting back to sort of the coverage that metal is getting in the Irish media. Do you think that, say, I don't know this for a fact, but I've been told that in sort of countries like Finland and Norway that there's more sort of government support for the arts?
Here's an example that I can think of, and it's hilarious and ridiculous at the same time. In Finland, there's a band called Heavy Swords, right? And they're a bunch of heavy metal dinosaurs that are cartoon characters. It's for kids. It's like, and they play gigs in their dinosaur uniforms. There's a cartoon that's on TV, and it's a heavy metal band. That's impossible to have in this country. So, I mean, if you're exposed to this as a 5-year-old, up to 10 or whatever like that, the chances are that when you know, obviously it doesn't mean you're automatically going to get into metal, but yes, exactly. I mean, the option is there. Oh yeah, you're into metal band, yeah, no big deal, you know.
So if we're going to help the Irish metal scene, essentially we should get them on the gun.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, it's not that. It's to do with the attitude. The attitude in Ireland is like, you know, like you take the Phoenix Park thing that happened last weekend, right? Like, my ma has always been anti-metal, but the odd time she'd go, oh yeah, these are not that bad, and she would, like last weekend she was going about, you know, I bet you there was no trouble at the burning oak thing in Cork, and there wasn't. But there's still an acceptance in Irish society that heavy metalers are somehow fucking cat sacrificing, Satan worshipping fucking freaks. And that's what I'm trying to say, is the conservatism in Irish society, the people are a certain way, and anything that's outside of that, no, not having that, not dealing with that, not looking at that. And until that changes, and I thought it would in the recession, I thought like all those barriers would come falling down, because people would be less self-conscious of their identity, their fashion and all that stuff. But it's come with more reinforced, you know?
Well, if we then all as fans of metal want to sort of, make a change in that, is there anything that we can do? Because obviously you can sit around and go, well, Ireland's too conservative and it's all their fault because they don't like metal. Like, is there anything that we can do to change their minds or to get rid of them?
It's all not going to be I don't really care. I don't fucking care if people like it. Because it's just like, well, why should I really worry? I mean, from the point of view of, I would like to see, from a media point of view, the likes of the Irish Times do treat this kind of music seriously as music, because regardless of the bells and whistles, it's still music. It still requires talent and skill.
That's the fundamental.
But on a day-to-day basis, I don't really care if my work is going to take this and the clock and playing along with children. Like, it really doesn't matter anymore, because I'm so used to it that I don't ever see it changing. I don't think anything will change. I don't really know who needs to change it.
Do you think you guys think maybe from more that you're not going to your context set now?
Well, I think I grew up in the 80s and at the time you had Metallica, you had a very brilliant band at the height of its powers, and then you had a lot of kind of crossover mainstream, so decent metal bands, in a sense, and a lot of people got into bought the albums, and then a portion of them are going to explore a bit more. That's it, and a portion that'll be enough, after construction. I'm not going to go any further than that, but a few will go and dig a little deeper, and these days I think, going back to, what I do, I can provide it from an audio point of view, but then from a real investigative point of view, the internet has, really changed it, so people can go and interrogate, because you can type in, well, I like that band I heard there, let's type in, Down, for example, okay, bands like Down, and they'll list of new bands, and then you go to MySpace or Grooveshark, or one of these to listen to them. That's how it's changed. But whether we can get more,
I don't think we can change the will.
There's a certain percentage will have an interest in them. That'd be my experience anyway.
I actually think, internally changing the mindsets, and I've said this I think 2 or 3 times already today, and I'm going to keep saying it. Until people within the metal scene and the rock scene break down the barriers and start talking to each other and stop fucking being aloof and being afraid or whatever to talk to somebody else just because they have some stupid notion. Until that happens, there's going to be this constant kind of staggering of things. Things will pop out here and there, but nothing. There's no homogenous Irish metal scene. There's people in bands and there are people who do things, but there's no I mean, I've known Jamie since we were teenagers, and most of the people that I socialise with and are friends with, I've known since I was a teenager. And you meet other people along the way, whatever else like that, but I have to say that, I mean, I'll talk to fucking anybody. Whether they listen is a different thing, but the people just don't seem to want to.
Well, shouldn't there be a level of sort of antagonism there anyway?
That's possible.
I think there should. Maybe like black metal and death metal and shit. It's supposed to be. It kind of presents itself as
black metal is 20 years old.
No, but I mean,
20 years ago. It's like
but it presents itself as being a certain way.
But it's
not. Should you
not
not back it up to a certain degree? I don't mean necessarily going out and fucking, setting fire to churches.
Yeah, funk was anti-social or whatever as well. But
Well, no, but I know it's music, and I mean, and I know that maybe there's a certain amount of it that's probably bluster and it's bravado. But should you just not do that then and just say, well, it's all purely music? But then there's no fucking aura around it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's a completely different point, off the point, if you see what I mean. I understand what you're saying, but you're talking about aesthetics and approach and everything like that. Yeah, you can have that to your music. Course,
but I think that's what sort of turns a lot of people off. They see that as being this, they look at black metal and they go, it's just fucking retards up their own arse, and they don't realise, well, actually it's just they're trying to create a certain.
Are you talking about other metalers, or are you talking about
other metalers? They kind of take it as though on face value. Hang on, maybe it's about creating a world around the music beyond just here's my songs and I'm fucking joking in the bar.
That's absolutely fine. That's not even what.
Well, I think that is a problem.
It's the kind of the support network and the structure of people. Like Jamie was saying earlier on, you email somebody and go, right, I'm going to book a tour. I'm going to do it. Not, hey, can you help us book a tour? You get up off your ass and you do it. That's how things get done. If you don't do that, you don't go anywhere. Whatever about aesthetics and approach and everything like that, that's a separate issue altogether. I'm just talking about the actual dynamics.
But I think that's sort of what you're saying there about breaking in the barriers. I think the barriers are there because people take it on face value.
No, I think if I could just give you an example. I think what you're both trying to get at, and it's kind of outside the metal scene, we're talking about the hardcore scene, right? I have been involved in that for a long time. there aren't really a whole lot of bands in Ireland in that. There's a lot I just outright despise musically. On a personal level, that doesn't change the fact that they're good dudes. Like for example, Nibiru, who played last night, I'm not a fan of that band, but Martin's a really nice guy. So if Martin's really in the morning and went, I need to get a gig somewhere, can you help me? I'm not going to go, well, your band is shit, so no, I won't. I'm going to go, yeah, whatever.
Exactly.
That's
exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, again, like I think I like maybe 2 or 3 Irish metal bands, whatever like that. But if somebody wants to talk to me and I can help them, I'll fucking.
But I think people don't realise that they see it as more.
That's what I'm saying. That like those barriers need to be broken out. Stop going around with the stupid notion of who you think somebody might be or might not be. Just go. I'll talk to them. You know. Okay. Maybe sometimes you talk to somebody and they're pissed or whatever like that, and they can appear like a bit of a wanker. Fine. I mean, if you're going to let that put you off what you're doing, you're in the wrong fucking game anyway. Rock and roll was always supposed to be a bit fucking mischievous, you know. So I think people are so sensitive. People are too sensitive sometimes, and they're also afraid of having somebody say, "Look, I don't like the fucking band." You know, I mean, like say, like John Fay from Crocon's one of my best mates. I don't like Crocon. I never have, right? And I've always said, like I said, right, how many releases that I've put out do you own? And then 1 or 2 that I've given it. There you go. Am I offended that you don't buy or like what I put out? No. You're still my mate, like,
network, I think that.
Yeah.
Do you think that would be something that comes with age? Because I know that when you're like when you're younger and you're in a young band, there's sort of there's this attitude that everyone is your competition, and especially in a small country like Ireland, everyone's trying to be the big fish in a small pond.
But that's part of the problem as well. Yeah, it's like fucking again going from playing fucking fibers of points to whacking. Like, you know, hone your, like sharpen your mind, hone the skills, you know, but like, some of the bluster that you read on that line is hilarious sometimes. Like bands, like, I mean, believe in what you're doing, 100%. I mean, but
you guys are from Dublin.
I don't know.
Well, sorry, but you live in, you're sort of already in Dublin scene. Do you find that there's a certain cliquishness? Is anyone like from outside Dublin, or where he's all from?
Particular?
Clare, any other sort of scenes, if you like?
Calvin, but there's no scene in Calvin. Like,
No
but
scene
you
there.
go up here, yeah, there is a clicky. You can see the groups and all that, but you still can go up to one group and still have conversation with you as well.
Yeah. I'm just a bit interested just to hear, because like in Belfast, like, I play in Belfast, anyone else from Belfast here? That cliquishness kind of exists, and it's just interesting to hear you talk about it down here as well. I always wondered, it's just Belfast. You know?
How are you defining a clique though?
It's a clique. It's
pretty social.
Yeah, like a social, like I think that metal, and especially in Belfast, is becoming too fragmented. And like I remember, like I'm not even that old. Like 10 years ago, I would go up to a bar called the Rosetta, and you would see, like a heavy metal band, and a black metal band, and a death metal, and something completely off the wall, like some bunch of glam metal guys. You know what I mean? All in one bill, and now it's so fragmented. And those little genre fragmentations are almost becoming mini scenes within themselves. And like you say, sort of homogenous.
It's like that here as well.
Yeah.
But then again, I prefer, from a personal point of view, I prefer to go to a gig of all bands that are, say, Black or Death or Doom, that are kind of somehow something in common. They go, or unless it was like a heavy metal band or something that I really like, then these kind of mixy-uppy bills where there's maybe one band you like and 3 bands, a grunge band and a fucking this, that, and that you're not interested in. I'm not going to spend 10 to go and see one fucking band I like and 3.
But that's what I mean, like, and I'm not making this as a comment about your sort of taste, but like, people getting too narrow in their tastes. I
don't think there's anything wrong with that.
More broad in their taste than ever before, actually.
So you say more broadly?
No, I think if people, I don't be there. I like a whole lot of different types of music, but if I'm going to listen to a hardcore metal record, there are particular types of metal music that I like. If a band in a different type of it is good, I still like them, but I know what I like, and I don't necessarily think having a particularly narrow view of a type of music is a bad thing.
No.
I think if you take it as the only, as an absolute, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Andy though. Mixy uppy fucking bills with a bit of this and a bit of that. They don't work. I mean, the idea, the principle behind it is good, but I mean, go see a black metal band and then a glam rock band. grunge band on the same bill. It's too much of a juxtaposition, I think, you know, there's too many different things going on there. And like, that's not even what I'm talking about. I'm actually just talking about the support kind of network and structure. Like, here's a perfect example. The lads from Niflheim, a couple of them have this band called Black Trip, which is like 70s rock, Rory Gallagher, Phil Easy, Deep Purple, that sort of thing. They just banged out a fucking 7-inch there recently. It's really fucking good. You know, so like Niflheim is its fucking satanic fucking claptrap thing, spiked Satan, blah blah blah. But this other thing then is like this kind of sleazy rock and roll thing, and it's really, really good. But like you know, you're not going to see Black Trip play with Niflheim, even though they're the same people. But of course, people can play in separate bands, you know, and do different things. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
To give you a more local example of this, if you look at Wizards of Horror Top now, they're all basically from the hardcore scene. They all grew up playing punk and hardcore bands, like Boston Youth and Happy Rash and all those bands, Perkins Hoffman. They generally, in that band, tend to play with, not to, or they do play with punk and hardcore bands, but they generally tend to play with because I guess it's not they previous
Think about sort of the regular pattern. We also have shows varying across different show genres other than metal and rock and all. Are there things that you think that, you know, metalers can be taken from other genres completely alien to it, like say indie bands and all? And the Irish, you know.
Well, what I'm told in Phantom is that people who listen to my show don't listen to the first Phantom. People who listen to your first Phantom don't listen to my show, so I probably answer that now.
So, but, alright, okay, so there's nothing, say, that you've encountered, maybe looking at other scenes that you think that they do well, that people in metal take them? So I know, say, for example, in the North, I can't turn a corner without hearing about, like, I saw a lot from the bar, who are like sort of instrumental band up there, you know, say, promotion, sort of, you know, the frequency that they put on their gigs, like, you know, is there things that they're doing right that we're doing wrong? What's wrong, I suppose?
There's a small thing, there's a small amount of people that go to the amount of gigs. In fairness, this year is probably one of the best years I've ever seen in gigs. Like there's a dozen at least or more between now and Christmas, you know, the bands coming over. But there isn't enough people like to go somewhere, is there?
So you think there's too many? Well, are there too many gigs then?
yes.
Definitely so, because of the people going to touring bands that we're got over by Dublin metal bands, and they've probably going to put on metal at a long time. They're going to have to scale back like maybe gigs like Absolute Europe there a couple weeks ago again on Monday night. They just got people coming out playing it. There needs to be a big job in the camp, but the numbers aren't there to actually go to the gigs.
Jimmy, you were quite answer to that. So
Oh yeah, I know. I'm a firm advocate of there being less gigs. I don't just mean touring bands in general. I think we really have. I mean, it's great in a way because I vividly remember. I'm sure Ray and Daria, slightly older as well, remember this, not disrespectful. I vividly remember we get like it was older than that. Particularly in the scene I'm involved in, there are far too many bands coming over. It's one of the drawbacks of DIY and Halloween. There's a lot of bands coming over. Most of them, a lot of touring bands coming over. I love that. There are bands that have just practiced, had like 6 songs, did a demo, and I'm going to go and with the world. They come here, there's nobody here to see them, they play really badly because they shouldn't be playing anywhere everywhere they go to. Yeah, definitely. But you know, apart from that, even there's bigger hardcore bands coming over, there's too many gigs, there's not enough people going. And that's it. I think a bigger scene maybe locally than metal. There seems to be I think that's where all the teenagers are gone. Like if you go to a pop punk gig here, there's thousands of these. But in terms of metal, I mean, it is a horrible complaint, but it's a good complaint. You're spoiled for choice. The difference is ticket prices from metal shows. There's been so many bands. I've had, like, money-wise, I've got married this year, so I've been saving for the last 6 months till that happened. And, like, I couldn't, but there were so many bands I wanted to go see, I just couldn't afford to straight for the pop to see, you know, whoever. And it's really a habit to pick which ones you can go to. And it's great, it's a fantastic thing that H is putting all his work, putting all his mind. Like, I was standing outside his boy with Skull just looking at 3 rows of posters, okay? And it was like a battle between Demented, who do a lot of bigger hardcore shows, really start using that. And H, who does DME. And there's so many, they both have so much on in the next month or two. I'm really recession realistically.
Yeah, you think it's going to
Nobody can afford. I mean, there's like 6 or 7 of those gigs that looks that's it. Realistically, I'm going to get to one.
Yeah.
DRI are playing me. I'm not going to be able to go because I'll be going to something else.
You
I mean, what I'm picking up is I know DRI will probably be back next year.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are plenty of good people who take that. I'm sure some of you have been at the point where you're like, I'm broke, I really want to see that band, but I want to see this band more, you know?
Yeah.
Do you think that sort of ironically hurting local gigs then, really? Why would you go and see
I would
think it should actually make local bands up their fucking game.
Yeah.
Like fucking, you know, like I mean, if I don't play an instrument. I've been in bands that not particularly serious, whatever like that. But if I was a local band and I was looking at all this shit happening coming over, I would like, I want to be like and better than I can be. So you know, I can challenge. Write good songs, fucking have a good, you know, stage setup, whatever else, you know. But that doesn't really seem to. That's not happening.
I think the bigger issue as well is with the team gigs thing. What's starting to happen now is that you're getting before you would maybe have a metal gig and the same night clashing, and you essentially have enough people that there be 2 different sets of people out.
Yeah.
Now you have 3 different types of metal gigs that are vaguely similar on the same night, or particularly in the punk and hardcore scene, it's partially I think it was weird, it was definitely done maliciously by people, where you would have like 3 or 4 different gigs on the same night, where everyone was like, oh, you were doing a gig, fuck you, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But there is definitely, that's the practical problem with the local gigs, is there's too many clashing gigs whereby if you only have one on that night, you would maybe have. I mean, ordinarily, some people won't go and see particular bands, but they might be more organized now to put out there's some bands like that.
Yeah.
Whereas if there's 2, both of those gigs are the same.
Yeah.
That's a real problem.
Do you think that this sort of this bubble, if you like, is going to burst soon, and it's going to take something to lose a lot of money?
It's only burst if it gets really financially difficult to get to Ireland. Other than that, no. I don't know. People still turn out for gigs, like, you know. I mean, you have certain shows that do badly. That's not going to stop another promoter from putting on a gig or whatever like that.
I know they put like they're going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's a success. I mean, it's a business in a sense. You know? I mean, you might lose one gig, but you can make it up on another gig.
In a weird way, I think that's part of the reason we have so many shows bands, because these people are just, they need a constant stream of revenue.
Yeah.
So they've adopted the tactics of bigger promoters that whoever obviously their business. These are basically one-man operations, but they're aspiring to run on this bigger business model because realistically they kind of have to at this point, because they're going to lose money next month shows and need to keep going. So they know if this one doesn't go well, they can take a risk on it because they can do something bigger show.
Swinging pendulum.
Is there anything that you obviously for fans of metal more so, I suppose, say if you're doing radio shows, in journalism, having a record label, you listen to a lot. Is there anything you think that is lacking, like if you're anybody here playing in bands, from Irish metal bands that you may see in other countries, no matter how small it is? Like say, I know like Cousin, the Finland, this is going to sound really superficial, but like he just says that their members are just so much better dressed.
No,
but to him that made all the difference. I was like, well, you know, like that small difference makes him seem so much more cooler.
Are we getting into the talking area of how do we make metal more attractive to the
But even like, you know, but I think the point was like there was a definitive Finnish way of metal, and part of that was dressing.
Like a national identity.
Almost like a national identity. Like, is there something would you like to see that? Would you prefer people forget about national identity and just concentrate on their own voice?
Well, yeah. I mean, if I'm what I would consider a traditional metalhead. I got into metal rock in the late 80s, and fucking Quote the Destroyer song, got then invested, sorted past, made drinks, tattoos and scars. That's what I fucking like. Leather bristles, studs and acting. You know, I don't like this fucking, you know, like, I'm anti-metalers, you know. People like just who fucking, you know, don't look the part. And he's a great mate, so that's why I picked on him. But no, I think people like it's Irish conservatism again. You know, people like, oh no, I can't look like that, I can't do that, or whatever else.
I don't think it
No, yeah,
I'm not even talking about that. Throw it out there as well.
Yeah.
Just down to your identity of like the actual the lyrics, the sound, all tied together.
the concepts. Yeah, I agree. I don't think Irish people really feel like it's so fucking weird because Phil Lynott came from fucking Crumlin, and like in the 1960s and 70s he was black and he was Irish and the motherfucker rocked like nobody else.